There was Audible. And
I did an Audible ad. Let's do another one. Fuck it.
Sure. Hey, guys.
What about Audible? That's the question a lot of us are asking.
Hey, do you read but can't read?
Right? Do you love literature,
but you
don't
illiterate?
know what it means? You love stories, but you don't know how they get transmitted from person to person without directly via someone someone around a campfire.
Are you a huge fan of Foucault but don't know what those little squiggly lines mean when you open up one of his books? Well, you are a prime candidate for Audible.com. It's audiobooks. You don't have to read anymore.
Do you get it? It's like getting a sponge bath from a nurse. You don't got to do shit. You just sit back and let that shit happen to you, dog.
That's right. It's like you need to take a long road trip and get your sponge bath at the same time. Boom. The nurse comes to you.
Guys, go to audiblepodcast.com/thechamps. You're going to get yourself a free audiobook download. Moshe, what have you been fucking with?
What have I been fucking with words-wise? I recently read the Ender's Game, the upcoming movie Ender's Game. And
I bet that's on tape.
I enjoyed it greatly. It's a lot of fun.
Some sci-fi shit?
It's on some sci-fi shit.
Right. But it's high school? It's young sci-fi?
Kids. It's young sci-fi, and it's kids. And
young sci-fi was my rap name.
The guy is homophobic, the author, but don't let that stop you.
Who? I mean, so was J.D. Salinger. I don't know that for a fact.
Yeah, no. So was
I'm just saying he was. But somebody must have been.
Ernest Maupin was a huge homophobe.
Who? Look at that. Look at this motherfucker.
He's a gay. Anyway, listen, go to audiblepodcast.com/thechamps. Get yourself a book. Neal, you got a recommendation?
I recommended this last time, but I'll re-recommend it. This guy, Carl Hart, wrote a book called...
That's Kevin's dad, yeah?
Well... he wrote a book called High Price, he is a black neuroscientist. Guys, I don't just walk the walk, I talk the talk. I read, not only do I interview many blacks, I strictly read black books.
Sure.
This guy, he's a black neuroscientist, and he wrote a book about drug addiction. He was basically from the 80s, from Miami, and he's basically saying that crime was worse before crack. The murder rate was higher in 1980 than it was in 1986. So he's saying all the shit that the war on drugs attributed to crack was existing in black neighborhoods before that.
Listen, are you getting bored right now listening to that?
No, Roy is scintillated.
It's because it's not the author reading the book. So
that's just worth reading. He was also in The House I Live In. So just whatever. Go to audiblepodcast.com/thechamps and you pick out your own book. You don't top me, motherfucker.
And then
you don't like what I read some other shit.
Yeah, and come back, get at us after you've educated yourselves. Because...
I know. Hey, are you fast forwarding through this, you motherfucker?
You better not be.
Here comes some more dates.
Here's some dates for some more excitement.
Yeah, what do you got?
It's Moshe Kasher.
Yeah, go.
I'm going to be on Pete Holmes' new show on November the 5th, so you should tune in.
I'm going to be
on TBS.
One of those days too.
Well, we're not there yet, Neal. Yeah, check out Neal and me on Pete Holmes' new show on TBS at midnight. It's not at midnight, but it comes on at midnight.
No, it's not at midnight.
It is not, but it comes on right after Conan. And then also, I'm going to be on November the 1st, if this episode's out by then. I will be in Nashville, Tennessee at the High Watt. And then on the 10th of November, as a part of the New York Comedy Festival, I will be at the Upright Citizens Brigade Theater East, UCB East, doing a headlining show. And then the following weekend, Natasha Leggero and I are co-headlining over at Caroline's Comedy Club. And if you want to look this forward in the future, if you're interested in New Year's Eve plans, I'll be at the Nob Hill Masonic Auditorium with Natasha and Doug Benson and Rory Scovel and Brendan Walsh and a bunch of other fun people. So fuck with me, MosheKasher.com.
This is Neal Brennan. Everybody knows I'm going to be in Portland November 14th, 15th, and 16th.
You've been good to him in the past.
You've been good to me in the past. Fuck with me in the future. I got, what else am I doing? I'm going to be on At Midnight and Pete Holmes Show in the next couple weeks. I don't know. They're not on my calendar, but I know.
Just for the sake of one-upsmanship, I will be on At Midnight. It's just tomorrow. That's why I didn't mention it, but I can't have Neal not know that I'm going to be on the show as well. So that'll happen.
People think that we legitimately don't like each other, by the way.
Right, and we don't legitimately not like each other. We like each other. Yeah.
We're just both ball busters. Roy,
you got some dates? Yeah.
You know my friend Sulks over here.
You don't know our patented 15-minute intro that no one listens to?
I'll see your At Midnight appearance. I'm the new host of At Midnight.
Oh shit!
Wait, what? They fired Chris Hardwick?
And they went with you?
Yeah.
Wow, that is a.
There was something racial in there.
Nah, for real. My new comedy album, Things I Think, comes out November 12th. So if you're before then, pre-order. If it's out after then, go download that shit, son. The only date I'm plugging is New York City, Gotham, New Year's Eve. I got other shit, but just go to my website.
Hey, this is also Neal again?
No, let's talk about this on the show.
Okay.
We're going to talk about, we got some exciting news.
RoyWoodJr.com.
Next episode of The Champ, and we'll talk about your album on the.
Roy Wood, everybody. Here he comes.
All right, here we go.
Now you're fucking with the champs.
Well, hello everyone. You're back fucking with the champs.
Love
And
that song.
At this point, we've stopped even apologizing for our infrequent uploads. We're doing our best, guys.
What happened this week?
I don't know, man.
You were away.
Oh, you know what happened this week was Cedric, the entertainer, was going to come on the show, and he was. I've been emailing. I was so excited to have him, and not that I'm not excited to have him.
No.
I'm just saying.
I'm a repeat guest. You
You're
didn't give a
repeat
fuck
guest.
about me.
Yeah.
I understand.
But Cedric was going to come on. I have a funny story of how I met him. I'll save it for if he ever does come on. And he was saying, "Yep, I'm there. I'll be there." And I said, "It's at the Laugh Factory offices, which is where we sometimes record." And then he texted me a half an hour late, saying, "Hey, where is this?" And I said, it's at the Laugh Factory, Sunset and Laurel. And he said, "Shit, dog, I'm in New York." It's like
What?
What did you think? And then, but my favorite part was that he was already late 3 hours in the future. He had already become late. So that's what happened.
I'll give you one comic paid a high compliment to this podcast in New York. This chick, Janelle James, she said she likes the champs because you all just put out episodes whenever. Like, there's people that actually like that. Like, it's not seen. Like, the podcasting world is set up to believe that if you do not put this out every day,
Tuesday, bro.
motherfuckers will snipe you in the DC.
That's me being condescending to people that are actually on time. Where I'm like, yeah, every Tuesday, bro. I'm a nerd. Meanwhile, I wish we put everyone. I wish but I'm also straight up, we're running out of black people.
That is true. We are
We're
going to
running out of black people. We're running out of black people who will fuck with it. Like,
Well, no, we're running out of. I mean,
we're not running out of black people in the
that
world
we
today.
Want to fuck with that won't fuck with.
you all should do an episode of like black people who don't fuck with you and just get impersonators of people who do the voices. Just get
Eric
between
Cosby.
Dean Edwards or
do a Bill Cosby.
Little Rail. Yeah, just get people to just do that character.
Oh, we
I
should
think
have
that
Dean.
would be
He is somebody that I like.
Dean
Edwards. We
would
should
be
have
great.
on this.
Look,
Yes.
listen, guys, if you're listening, if you're out there.
But having said that, there's not a. We've done like 65 episodes.
I know. And if I don't want this
There's
podcast
only like
to come
70
to a close.
black people in America.
I know Terrell Owens now.
that
Well enough
true?
to ask him. Yeah, I do his podcast every now and then. He has a podcast now.
Where's he live?
He's out here.
Oh shit.
He's
If
out
you
here
may-
staying fit, trying to play football and shit.
You may hear Neal's mouth full of food, and on a normal night, it would be typical Neal Brennan rudeness. But tonight, it's something more than that. It's something special. Neal, you have a big announcement to make?
Yeah, I do, guys. I love. There's. If you live in LA, I. This is going to really hurt our donations. By the way, Moshe.
Why?
The idea that we get donations on here.
Who's ever donated to us?
Nobody, but you're always like, we should set up a donation thing. It's like, no one's donating money to me.
What about me, though?
Speaking
I don't
of
have
it-
money.
He's like, fuck you, Neil.
No, you don't have money, but I have money. And guys, I have so much money, I invested in a vegan restaurant.
Neal
That's
is
how much
now
money
a
I
restaurant.
Real talk.
Yeah.
You did that.
Yeah. I invested in a vegan restaurant. It's on Washington and Sepulveda, and it is called Sage Vegan Bistro. There's one in, like, Los Feliz. It's not that one. It's in Culver City.
Oh, completely unrelated.
Yeah. No, it's the same people.
Okay.
They opened a second one.
Well,
I'm an
Sepulveda,
investor.
Washington.
Woody Harrelson is all the hot vegans have invested. Woody Harrelson, Jason Mraz,
sure.
apparently.
Fuck out of here.
Yeah, man.
Any black vegans fuck with it?
Yeah,
There's a
in
lot of
fact,
black
Owen,
vegans.
Owen Smith has been there twice, and he's only known about
Owen
it for
Smith's
a
a
week.
vegan?
Yeah, because that's the only way he can lose weight.
dude, I have been noticing a trend of black vegans.
Well,
It's
it
a real
goes
thing.
to the weed Jamaican juice
The
thing.
ITAL. That ITAL.
What is that?
ITAL is the name of the Jamaican dietary code system, which is, you would think it would just be smoke a blunt, eat some Cheetos. It is not.
Negative.
They are all about vegan food. ITAL is vital,
Got it.
vital foods, and it's a whole vegan shit that is down there.
Take care of your body. Treat your body. Body's a temple.
Right.
All of that stuff.
All that.
Except for your lungs. Everything
Well-
but your lungs.
Well, congratulations,
Jamaicans, I'm
man.
here waiting for you.
Yeah. Come fuck with Sage. What does it feel like to
Sage
be
Vegan Bistro.
a restaurant investor?
It is so nerve-wracking, guys.
Are you serious?
No, I'm just fucking around.
You don't care.
No, it's funny
you
to
do
go to
any-
the restaurant.
Like, how does this come about? Do you do any research, like on some Shark
Here's
Tank?
how it is.
What
All
are
right.
your figures?
I'll explain it to you. I used to go. I was dating my ex who broke up with me a bunch of times. When she lived in North Hollywood, there was a place on
need to explore
Ventura
that.
Boulevard called Kind Cream. It was when I first became a vegan, and it was vegan ice cream. And I was like, fucking vegan, I didn't even know they had that. So I went in there, and the two girls that ran it were cute, and I would talk to them, whatever. We got along. Then one night, about a year ago, I was in Los Feliz, wanted some food, looked up, and went to this Sage place, and they had opened this Sage place. And then I was talking to them, and they're like, we're opening a new one. I was like, and the one in Los Feliz is packed. And I was like, oh, I'll invest in this. And I'd also just made a bunch of money doing something. So I was like, yeah, what do I care? So I invested.
You just gave a suitcase of money to some vegans starting.
Trust, we will handle it. Man.
Man, where'd you put the money, man?
I feel like vegan is low on my here's some of my money list. You know what
This
I
is
mean?
gonna
Here's what I like
explode.
about the girls. Here's what I like about the girls. One of them's a workaholic, and I don't even get free food. That's how, like, this tells you that they're good business people. I get half off, which is like, you fucking,
It's your
you
restaurant.
motherfuckers. Yeah. I get
Fuck
half
that
off.
shit, dude.
Yeah.
I'd
So
eat whenever I want. I'd walk
I
back
fucking
there.
eat whatever yeah.
My
So
old owner at Subway didn't give a fuck. He came through. 8
Right.
foot longs.
Did you ever meet a vegan in Alabama? Think about
I'm thinking long. I'm literally. No, I don't think so. I'll say this about vegans. Y'all are nice.
thank you very much.
Y'all
Yeah,
very-
we
I
like-
never meet vegan assholes. Like,
No, they're we tend to be maybe smug.
you're a little
They're nice about
condescending at a
everything,
house
but-
party if there's nothing for you. But other
Right.
than that, you're cool.
Yeah, we're not inherent dickheads. All right, anyway, so go to Sage Vegan Bistro. It's in Culver City, Washington, and Sepulveda. It's fucking delicious. They have pizza, they have ice cream. It's like really good.
I give you, some of the vegan stuff. Like, I used to date a chick that would eat all that fake tofu, boca meat, and she drown it in enough marinara. You could sneak it past me with some rice cheese.
Yeah.
Like, some of it I'm cool with. Like, all of it
I'm telling you, man, you can eat sugar. That's what you want. Like, these are gluten-free pretzels that I brought, guys. And this honey mustard's fucking delicious.
That's honey mustard? I thought that was like some runny vegan cheese.
No, man, it's honey mustard.
some runny honey. I will tell you, it tastes pretty good. It's really good.
Should smell like Cinnabon, dude.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Go. You know what? You know what,
Yeah.
Youngblood? Go ahead and fuck with that.
Dude, I'm from the South, man. You
All
know
right,
what
so
fucking happen
Roy-
if people know that I'm doing this?
Roy Wood, last time you were here, you were talking about a girl, and you were talking shit about girls, and then maybe she caught you talking shit about
I
girls.
remember that.
No, she didn't catch me. The chick I was cheating on her with.
Okay,
Wait,
let's,
what's that
let's
now?
unpack this story. You were being at
Damn,
the
that is
time of your last recording. You were being unfaithful to the person that you were dating. Is
No,
that
I was
true?
trying to get her back.
Oh, and she heard your tales of glory on this podcast and said, "Go fuck yourself."
No. In pondering trying to get her back, I start reflecting on all the chicks I was dealing with that I didn't really care about. I spoke ill of those women, and some of them heard that, which got me in a world of shit with those women, some of whom still don't speak to me to this day.
Wait, so you have champs?
I've
fans-
seen them in public.
Hey, listen. This is your chance to finally speak to them because they're clearly fans of the Champs podcast. They will hear. What
They'd
you
be
have to
listening
say.
anyway. The
Yeah.
fact that you're here is a total coincidence. We have a
So-
ton of female fans in Alabama. That's my
Yeah,
understanding.
oh yeah.
No, they weren't in Alabama. He's all over. I'm a comic, man. Come on, you can't just
Come on, man.
plant seeds locally.
Grow up,
You
Neal.
gotta-
Yeah. So
times
what?
into
So
it.
you sort of got.
Oh yeah, I got like, well, fuck you text. I heard what you said, and it was weird because it wouldn't be. Like, they all listen to the podcast at different times. So one might listen in 2 days, and then another one will listen a week from now. So you think, Oh, I'm out the woods. Good. Nobody else heard the shit. But, yeah, I was in the car with, and we were listening to the podcast, and was that me you were talking about? And,
Right.
So, it is what it is, man. All those bridges are burned. Some of them I deconstructed. Some you have to blow up. But
Did you ever get the girl back, though?
yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. You know what, though? That was a situation where, because I cheated so much, you try and go back and rebuild and put everything back together like it was without being an asshole. And ultimately, I was just an asshole again. Like, I didn't cheat, but then you take a look and you just go, fuck this shit. This is too much work.
What do you think
I would
cheating
rather
is?
start from scratch. Cheating is, I guess it's more lying. Lying might be a better phrase to put to it, because it just boils down to, hey, I'm going to be with you. What do you say you don't put your dick in other women? And I go, cool. And then I go fuck somebody. It's cheating.
That is cheating, yes.
Now,
yes.
what's lying?
Did you put your dick in another girl? No.
What? You're saying...
I have an
what
open condom packet in your luggage. No.
I think I see where your problem is.
I like how you say it's slavey, too.
A bitch just texted me and said she fucked you. No. No. No,
Take your
sir.
hat
It
off.
wasn't me. Why did you put the open condom packet? Was that a real example?
It's something similar. We were on a road trip and a condom fell out my luggage.
Whoops.
And you said
Shouldn't
that's from
have.
the old days, baby.
No, baby.
I just packed this luggage 2 days ago, Moshe. That
That's
shit's
also
not
like,
gonna work.
yeah,
That's so vintage.
I wear condoms. I see that as like good news.
That the person
I
cheating.
wear condom. Isn't that awesome?
Well, but
At
the
least when I
person's-
cheat on you, bitch, I've
Yeah, man,
protected
the
this
person
bitch.
that's
I'm
being
thinking about
cheated on
you.
isn't only concerned with not getting STDs.
Eventually, she will be.
Yeah, if you break her down enough,
Yeah.
you'll be like, well, thank you.
Like,
just-
give me 15 minutes. I'll get it.
Nah, the problem with that whole experience, though, man, like, honestly, it wasn't so much trying to get back with the ex. It was going back to all these chicks I had fucked. And, I was one of them cats, what's that old Dr. Dre chronic? Things niggas say to get the pussy for $500. Mm-hmm. So I'd
That's
say
the best comedy sketch in the history of
rap?
I don't know, man. I don't know. Eddie Griffin, Chronic 2, Chronic 2001. Didn't you, bitch? Didn't you? The old keep a nigga baby. That Eddie Griffin sketch.
I don't know that sketch.
Oh, Chronic 2001. Yeah, check that one out.
The kid who's going to film us is here.
Oh, there's a child here to film us.
Oh, okay.
Folks. We're getting filmed live.
All right, there we go. Let it roll. So I was in a situation where I'm trying to get back with this new chick, and then I'm trying to, like, sever ties with all these old chicks, but you can't just call a chick up and go, yo, I got a girlfriend, talk to you later. It's not that easy. It
I
goes
call that
into-
the cull.
I think you can.
Yeah, I think so. It's a
You
it's
can.
a great
The
way
only
out.
way you can is if you're still trying to fuck them.
No, at first there was an element of, yeah, let me just listen. Just don't call for a while. Let me see if this shit work out. And I'll check back on you.
You don't give
Like-
him a reason. Just like
Yeah.
you just got to give me a
Just
couple
lay
weeks
low.
here.
Like that was the original intent, but as it started, the whole process boiled down to, look, we just can't do this anymore. Well, you said that, because I was telling chicks, look, we can be together, but not right now.
That's a
I
great
don't-
one, by the way.
Oh,
I feel like we could be together. I'm just not in the right place because then that way you don't actually hurt them. You basically push it into the future.
Oh, you don't
Kick it
hurt
down
them.
They call that kicking
You don't.
the
You don't
can.
hurt them until you go be with another chick.
Yes.
And then you sit on the phone with them for an hour and listen to them cry and call you a son of a bitch. So
Do you actually get called a son of a bitch?
dude,
A son of a
I
That
got
is some
called
Alabama insult right there.
fucking
You son of a bitch.
Well, I never.
he whore.
He whore I like.
Yeah, it's sort of donkey-esque.
Yeah.
I got called all this shit. You got to remember, man, you're trying to be with one chick, but then you're sitting on the phone day after day, and you're just listening to chicks tell you all of the worst things about you. And that shit just starts fucking weighing on you after a while. And you start.
Because you recognize
Right, but
the
what are
truth.
they? What's the rap on you?
It's basically you're a liar and you ain't shit. And I do feel bad because, in a way, I wasn't trying to fucking ever make you cry. I just thought we were cool fucking. And maybe I ignored the fact that you were fucking hoping this would roll into something better.
Yeah, I don't quite believe you.
Maybe I should have protected them from themselves and go, look, I'm never going to fucking be with you.
I feel like you're a kind of dude that is romantic pretending with everyone you have a booty call with. That's what it seems like from the stories you're telling.
Yeah, I want you to feel like a human. Yeah.
I got to the point before I our relationship up where I would literally just be sitting at home, text someone, they would come over, we would have sex, they would leave. It got so transactional, I started to feel like something wrong. But
robotic,
yeah. But you'd like take them out. Buy them.
So you see, I be caking these hoes.
I mean, a little bit. It sounds like
you just call me a cake daddy to my face.
Well, it's better than he whore or son of a bitch.
You're taking these bitches to Cheesecake Factory,
buying them strawberry lemonade.
Moshe can't get them in 3 texts. He fucking throws their number away.
Some of that. You know who fucking called me out on that first was of all people, Alex Raimundo.
Oh, you were fucking Alex Raimundo?
Bitch. I was opening for Raimundo in Memphis. This was like 01 at the Looney Bin, and we're sharing the condo. And I'm sitting on the phone. There's some chick in New York and I'm never going to play New York at this point. It's just some chick I've been in a fucking chat room, and I'm laying all the groundwork for when I get to New York. Yeah, I'm going out to Brooklyn. We're going to fuck. It's going to be great. We sit on the phone for like 4 hours, and we just talk the whole night after the show. As soon as I hang up the phone, Raimundo comes in the room, and he just goes, "You know what your problem is? You give them too much attention." And he just closed the door, and I never understood.
Was he in a Native American costume?
No, he was Mexican.
You know what the problem is? They took
you know
our
that
land.
the problem is?
You know what the...
You give them too much attention.
He's right.
You can't give them that much attention if you don't want to be with them. And he just closed the door. I'm like, fuck out of here, Mexican. You don't know what to
get out of it. Beat it, Mexican.
And now
he did not say that to him because he like assaults people, right?
No,
not him.
nice
Now I'm being racist. Barcena, that's what I'm thinking.
Willie
of.
Barcena just fights bitches.
Apparently, he'll just beat you up like at the drop of a hat. No, Alex Raimundo is the Hispanic, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
He's right though. You can't give him. You have to know when to. You have to not return texts every once in a while.
There's no reason.
Did I ever tell you this story? I've ever told this story on the podcast. There was a girl that I was seeing for like 3 or 4 years, and it was so transactional. It was literally I'd be on my way home from the club, not the club, but the comedy club. And I would text her sup, and she would answer sup. And I would write back, you down or something like that, and she would say yes. I would drive to her house, go in, we would have sex. I would hang out for
keep the car running
5-10 minutes, and I would leave. And I expected at some point, like, okay, this is
when is this gonna hit a wall?
Yeah, it's not gonna go. It went on for 3 years. She never betrayed the smallest. She was so gangster. The smallest amount of anything, and I just thought maybe I found like the one holy grail of all booty calls.
Perfect whore.
I mean, just she was great. I mean, she just
don't say the whore because I feel like you're putting people in a bad position. You're making women feel no. You're going to make women feel bad
who just want to do casual
stuff. A good booty call.
Okay,
don't shame these brilliant heroic women.
Neal.
Yeah.
Investing in this vegan restaurant has changed your character.
No, I don't. I'm not saying that they're not whores. I'm just saying I don't. It's like when guys go.
There's no such
guys
thing as a whore.
Girls Halloween and guys are like complaining about it. It's like, do you not like it when girls dress sexy? You fucking moron! Shut up.
But also,
let them dress sexy. You shut up about Moshe's perfect booty call.
If she's down with it and you're down with it, there's nothing wrong with it.
I reject the whole idea of whore and slut completely. It's like a woman's. I want to get into this afterwards, but I want to finish the story. She never cracked. Never. And then, like, 2 years into this thing, I remember she was like, I was like, where are the condoms? And she's like, over in this drawer. Did I ever tell this story? I open up the drawer, and it said, there's condoms on one side, and on the other side, it's like, your guide to converting to Judaism. And I was like,
Oh.
And then I was like, okay, whatever. I asked her, is this converting to Judaism? She's like, oh, yeah. I've wanted to do that for a long time. I was like, And then, like, the next time I went over there were clove cigarettes, which is what I smoked at the time. Blacks, which is my kind of
Black
clove.
and Miles,
and I was like, And then the next time there was gummy candy there, which is also my show. I was like, And then she started showing up to comedy shows and just being like, oh, are you on the bill? I didn't know you were on the bill. So it, like, started to kind of come apart. And then I started dating someone. I did what you did. And I wrote her, I go, look, I'm seeing somebody now. I don't think this is going to work out. I don't think we should keep seeing each other. And she just went, Yeah, okay, cool. I'm dating somebody myself, so no problem. And that was the end.
Oh, that
It
straight
never-
stabbed her in the heart.
Maybe, but I never knew.
I was expecting her to start crying at some point.
Never. That's what's so legendary about this tale.
She's here. Come on out, lady.
She just beats me up. You son of a
everybody-
With it,
bitch.
she's got a purse. Beat you like
It's Cheryl
what's her name?
Underwood, you guys.
I had you had something. You texted me something the other day, which is can we talk about this?
Yes.
Roy
I've
texted me
had
the
no
other day.
secrets on this podcast. Man.
Roy texted me the other day, going to see 12 Years a Slave with a white girl.
No, I was
Amazing.
intending to.
You're gonna get laid.
No, I was
You just look at her at
intending
the
to.
end and just say, "Bitch, you better
Bitch,
give it up."
You
I said,
understand?
I said, should I go see 12 Years a Slave with a white girl, or should I go see Gravity? And Neil
Seems so
says,
obvious.
You should go see Gravity.
I kind of think 12 Years a Slave.
No,
is better.
I said no. I said you gotta see. I don't think that's what I said. I think you'll get some pity pussy.
Yeah, you say you get that guilt pussy.
I was at 12 Years a
It
Slave.
didn't happen though.
12 years some pussy.
I
Go
went
ahead.
to 12 Years a Slave, and there was I was at the ArcLight where people are like extremely serious about movies. I saw Gravity at ArcLight. Somebody's baby was crying. Someone screamed, "Shut your fucking baby up, man!"
As any American should have.
Right.
Yeah.
I was at 12
It
Years
was
a
George
Slave.
Clooney. Go
Black
ahead.
couple talking the whole movie. Nobody said shit to them.
That's
They're
hilarious.
just like, you know what?
What were
This-
they saying?
Just talking, but nobody. Everybody
Like
was
awesome. Like don't be doing that. Like don't
no,
go.
no, just I don't know, but it was like hilarious to me because nobody. It was just like no.
Do you
one
remember
was-
anything they said?
No, it wasn't.
Because it's
like-
not one of those like girl don't go in there type movies.
That's too long.
No,
You in
it's
space,
too long.
bitch.
Oh wait, come at me with that whip, motherfucker.
Well, no, this is an IMAX theater, so I wouldn't have wanted to see Slavery in IMAX anyway.
man.
That's more of a standard def.
Did you see it?
No, I still haven't seen it yet.
I saw
no.
it. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
It seems like one of those movies where your mood changes for like 2 hours when you walk out the theater and you're mad at people.
Absolutely.
Is it like when you saw Rosewood? Did you
I
ever
didn't
see?
see
He didn't
Rosewood.
see Rosewood. Come on, man.
Come on, how do you know? I
You
saw
know,
Rosewood.
Oakland,
I mean,
man.
I might have seen Rosewood, but I
know.
didn't.
Come on, man.
What is it?
Rosewood is a John Singleton movie that Ving Rhames and the mom from Good Times is in.
Not the
Esther
mom
Roll.
from Good Times. It's another black actress.
Wait, no, it didn't. Esther Roll, man. It was Esther Roll. And the line is, they were white as butter.
You're serious right
Yeah.
now?
No, it was
Esther
Esther
Roll.
Roll.
There was another young black actress that played Ving Rhames.
No, but Esther
Shit.
Roll's in the movie.
Okay.
Yeah. And she says describes people as white as butter, which was a constant. Here's what I will say about 12 Years a Slave. It is great, and it's not uplifting in the slightest. It's just like a fucking horrible ordeal, and then it ends. It's a horrible ordeal. Brad Pitt frees him, kind of, which was kind of like, oh, did you free him, producer? Producer of the movie, did you play the hero? Did
This
you
is
play
not
the
a spoiler because this is
did you
based on a
play
true
the
story.
Only redeeming white person in this movie. That's interesting. But it's like a long whippings and
very
long,
intense.
and there's a hanging at one point where he's hanging and he gets sort of free from the hanging, and then he's on his tiptoes. Is the only thing that's keeping him from not choking.
Mm-hmm.
They have him. They stay on it for probably 5 minutes, just him on his tiptoes. And the way they do it is they just get it from like 5 different wide shots, and so you can just see like a white woman like looking at him, and then just going and drinking some tea. The worst part was what I liked about the movie is it focused on what being around that shit does to other slaves. That was the shit. It was like seeing what one slave getting whipped or getting their ass beat would do to other slaves, and what it would do is they would just be ashamed and keep their head down and ignore it.
Rather than speak out.
I felt watching it like it's so stark how horrifying and brutal everything was. It's like it really puts into repose. Like, first of all, that everybody was in this system where it felt acceptable, and then you start going to yourself, because I was raised in the Bay Area with like liberal parents, and I've always like fancied myself a person that would have like been Brad Pitt in this situation. I wouldn't have been able to. And then you kind of go like the whole of society was poisoned by
Yeah,
this.
it's like,
and
you can be like John Brown or something. But even that is like to be against it would have meant it would have taken your entire life. You couldn't just sign a petition. Chris Rock said something interesting because we were talking about that, and I was like, my parents are like 80. They did nothing about it. And he goes, most white people, in terms of not slavery, they weren't that old, but in terms of like civil rights, he goes, most white people were Carmela Soprano, where they knew what was happening, but they didn't really do shit about it.
I tried to do a bit about that.
It fucking made me crazy that he said Carmela Soprano. He did it we had the conversation, and then he did it the next night, and I was like, this motherfucker.
I tried to do something like that 2 years ago about how the Klan went out at night, but the only reason they went out at night is because their wives didn't speak up. All the wives had to do was stop fucking the Klansmen, and every time they come home and just guilt them. You know, I don't like it when you go out and chase niggas. You promise you'd stay home on Wednesday. Fucking white guilt. You cannot fucking get a joke through white guilt on stage.
Yeah, it takes when he said Carmela Soprano, it didn't get a laugh.
It didn't?
No, not really. He said some other shit that was like tough on white people, but it was like, but that didn't get a laugh because it's so thinky and so clever.
Well, that's true in general. Like in Germany in the 30s and 40s, in Poland, 90% of the people weren't killing Jews.
Right.
90% of the people were just sort of enjoying the spoils of war and kind of tacitly.
Well, you know what's funny? I read
a
Ta-Nehisi Coates. You know that guy? He writes for The Atlantic, black dude, and he guest writes for. I want to have him on here. He'll be black dude number 67. He did an article like a week ago about in 1950 they did a poll of Germans and said that it was like, how do you feel about Jews? And 50% of them were still against Jews. And it's like after Hitler's dead and gone, and they were still like, nah. Like
that takes another generation or so. You know, what's funny though, now that you mention it, like, have there ever been any like really edgy slavery movies where a white person was like on some villain, like Brad Pitt? Of course he's going to take the softer role because he knows it's some heavy shit. But I'm trying to think, like, nobody remembers who the slave master was in Roots. Like,
it was Ed Asner. Because I remember I watched it relatively recently. I was
Seriously.
like, Ed Asner? Yeah.
That's America's Ed Asner.
Well, I guess nobody was a name.
Well, they'll remember now because Michael Fassbender is the evil slave master in this one. There's three main white people. It's Benedict Cumberbatch, who plays like a benevolent slave owner, and then there's
and by benevolent, like at some point, what's his name says, who by the way has seen me kind of do Medium at the Laugh Factory.
Okay. Did those big old expressive eyes show his pity?
You know what's great about that guy is he never doesn't look upset. He could be getting a blowjob and he'd just be like, "Oh God."
12 years I've been through
God. He's benevolent in that he what's his name? Chiwetel says like, "I'm a free man up north," and he goes like, "I can't worry about that."
Right. It's crazy.
Instead of like whipping the shit out of him, that's as good as white people were, where they were like.
That was almost more disturbing than the monster. Was the nice man who knew the whole time, like this dude is more than he appears to be, because the guy was like talking about
the other half of what you were saying was when you were saying like Klansmen couldn't go out at night because their wives were killed.
Yeah, if the wife just guilt tripped them.
The guy in this Cumberbatch? No, the mean guy, the mean dude,
Michael Fassbender.
Fassbender, his wife. He was fucking one of the slaves, and his wife hated the slave and used to shit on her and throw shit at her and get her whipped and all this shit, which is like the opposite of what you were saying. Like, he knew she was fucking him, and therefore it was like extra. I came out of that movie going like, do you think that white people in general are more sadistic than non-white people?
Oh, I would say definitely not. I would say that everything always has to do with power.
Situation, yeah.
Power and money and where you're at. Like, I mean, everybody, if you put them in a position of, because like, the Spanish decimated the, I guess they're white too. I mean, I just think that like, the Mongols.
Incas and Mayans.
Yeah, the Mongols.
I was watching a thing today on PBS that Henry Louis Gates, it's called the African Americans. Have you watched it?
No.
There's been two parts. It's great. But the first one, it was just about there was African slavery before.
Black on black slavery. Yeah,
like
for
tons
white
of it.
people even
Yeah.
at the coast.
And it was just tribal and all that shit.
I think that it is true.
But what white people did do is they supercharged it. Basically, I was watching it going like, oh, they use like MBAs to like just make it streamlined and like super organized.
Well, it's
and all
because
that
they had the
essentially, white people stole slavery from us.
yeah, we
was
done
ours, too.
hip hop. You know what I mean?
The
We
blues,
did that slavery shit first.
Jazz and slavery. I mean,
and you know what, brother? It'll never be as good as it was when it was just Africans. It'll never be that pure again.
But what I do think is that power
Crossover
does
mainstream
actually
slavery.
turn you into more sadistic than a person without power. And in fact, I just read this scientific study, which is super controversial, right? But they just published the results right now, which is that people in higher status situations who have more money, they did these like moral games with these people, and the people with more money, left wing, right wing, there was no through line other than they had more money than the poor people that were being polled, were more likely to lie in these tests, were more likely to manipulate a situation. There would be like a scientific test that if you got this right, you would get a certain amount of money, a menial amount of money. And these are rich people. They would lie more than the poor people in order to get the money.
Yeah, it was in the New York Times, right?
Yeah, luxury cars are much more likely to go through a crosswalk than a non-luxury car.
Beaters.
So there's something the matter with people.
No, it's
in
entitlement.
power.
I didn't even click on it. There was a link today that said rape isn't about power, it's about entitlement. Or it was not about something, it's about entitlement. It's just feeling like, fucking, I deserve this. There was a great study, and not the least bit heavy, that they did a who responds to breast size. Do you guys want to guess who
likes big breasts the
who
most?
likes big breasts? Because the evolutionary thing is like, oh, we need big. I used to do a joke about it. It's like, it's so dumb that we still want big breasts because it's basically like, she will feed my baby. Like during cold winter.
Big butt is she will be able to bear my baby. It's all just,
yes.
We're all just apes.
Hips.
Fucking.
So the test, who...
I'm going to guess white people like big breasts the best.
No. Go ahead, Roy. You want? It wasn't. It was based. It was class, and it was hunger, physical hunger.
Wait, hungry
Those were,
people?
they went hungry or full people, poor rich people. Who wanted big breasts the worst?
You
Okay,
poor,
so it's
you
gonna
want
be-
them big titties.
That is correct.
wanna eat
Poor
Poor
and hungry?
people want it. Poor hungry
Cannibal.
people favored big titties.
I guess that makes sense. But like,
Yeah,
she,
it was like-
she
but
can
it
make
was-
milk. She can make cheese.
Yeah,
I'll
she
never
can
have
do
to
a
leave the
lot
house
of shit.
again. We'll make human ice cream.
Yeah, should keep me warm.
Oh yeah, I could wrap those things around my ears. At
My
night.
head.
Yeah.
It's just, I need a chick to just live with, please.
Yeah.
What the fuck websites do y'all go to? Because I'm sitting up reading about Chris Brown. Shit.
You
Well,
know
no,
what
that
I've been
study
going to?
was
That's
actually-
a great fucking.
That
was
study
in the
was
New
put
York Times.
out by Chris Brown right before he assaulted someone.
But you know what's the thing about Chris Brown? Is he that fucking talented? They can't find. You know who must go crazy watching him get away with all the other R&B stars? Be like, what does this motherfucker have to do for me to get a fucking single plate on the radio?
Neo is behind him, just like
Yeah,
dancing
Neo's
super
like, this motherfucker. Do
furiously.
you not see this?
You got to punch more people then.
Yeah, it's like Neo must be like, how shitty am I that this guy's literally a fucking wife beating, a girlfriend, a woman beating criminal, and I still can't get my shit played.
I mean, that's probably
radio's
why part of it. Right?
That is
Isn't
part of it,
Part
yeah.
of it that everybody's like,
Yeah, he's in the paper.
enjoying the
Radio's
meltdown.
fucked anyway, man. I feel sorry for any music artist that's out
Go
there.
ahead.
Hey, I meet like any new artist. Like I still do some stuff for an R&B station in Atlanta now. Since all that Birmingham.
Atlanta?
Yeah. Well, you know, since we were last year, Birmingham, that whole shit blew up. It's there was a time, I think 20 years ago, there were 80 different companies that owned all the radio stations. I know the exact number is off, but now,
Right. Now there's
five
9,
companies five companies own almost 90% of the market, and they implement a fixed playlist that goes out to all of the cities. So if you're a new artist, you have to, it's not enough to just get played in Kansas City and get spins there. You have to fucking it has to be some universal shit that's accepted elsewhere. Radio used to break records but now radio just plays records that were already broken.
Yeah, the internet breaks them now, which
That's
is
it.
somewhat more democratic. But no, it's actually way more democratic. But it's still like, dudes, it's like speaking of music, I went and saw the Yeezus show.
Oh, in L.A.?
Yeah.
Oh, how is it? I got Jay-Z tickets for December in Atlanta.
I went to see Yeezus. The
Did he
Kanye West
rant?
show.
Did he rant?
He did something of a rant, nothing significant. It's the same problem that I always have with live hip hop shows. The fucking sound stunk. Kendrick Lamar went on before him. The sound stunk. Then Kanye went on, and a
It's
guy
just
whose
loud
whole
chaos.
thing, it's just loud. First of all, arenas are not good for music. It's like a concrete box. And then I was talking to a buddy of mine who used to be a manager of musicians, or is a manager of musicians, and he was telling me all the ways Kanye skimped on speakers. There's a mountain. The stage is partially a mountain.
Like a
ramp, like ramping down.
Like a
looks like a
mountain.
mountain?
No, it's like a fucking
can climb up on it like
the
some-
aggro crag from Nickelodeon. That's what it looks like. It looks like a I don't
some
know.
zoo exhibit type.
Yeah,
climb up
exactly.
shit.
That was Roy. He said compared Kanye to an animal.
I said zoo exhibit.
So there. All right. So mountain, and then there's like 3 ramps going up the mountain. Like it just goes up. It goes
Like
up,
a Donkey
left.
Kong
Yeah,
board,
like a
yeah.
Donkey Kong
like the
board.
Hill of Olives.
I didn't hear what you said.
Sure, that's what it
Hill
is.
of Olives.
It must. I'm serious. He's like recreating some Jesus myth in his own.
Yeah, no, it was like Mount Sinai or something. I mean, for
Yeah.
all he knows. And then at one point it splits, but the problem is the mountain, you can't, so all the speakers are behind the mountain.
You don't want to put your speakers behind the mountain.
No, and also he wears a mask the entire time.
The whole concert?
Yeah, he wears several different masks.
I'm okay with that.
No, it's fine, because you don't, it's like, what do I care? I was far away, I couldn't see him, and there's no monitor, so I was like, I don't give a shit. And then you know who he takes the mask off for?
Jesus.
That is correct. Jesus comes out.
Wait, you were at the show where Jesus came out and he bowed down.
He comes
Jesus
out
must
every
come out
show.
every
It
show
ain't
at this
just
point.
every
So
once
he's
in a
on tour
while.
with
He's
Jesus.
on tour with Jesus.
And is it Jesus from the Comedy Store? The guy
No,
that
I
turns
know.
around?
What's fucked up is it's not him.
That sucks for that
Who's a
guy.
more
I know.
convincing
That,
Jesus?
again, that's
He's
like
been
the
fucking
same.
getting ready for this role for 20 years
He's the
for
Neo
no reason.
of the Jesus on tour. So it was. So the sound stunk, but it was and he has a lot of hits.
How long was his set?
2 something.
That's good.
I
Yeah.
saw Jesus in a coffee shop on Sunset at that Coffee Bean.
Yeah.
There's this guy who's like a street performer, who dresses up as Jesus.
It's
for
not a
pictures.
street performer. It's to call it a street performer is being too generous. There are
Yeah.
people in LA who dress up like superheroes,
Right.
and go to Hollywood Boulevard, and people get their picture taken with them, and then you're supposed to give them money.
But this woman.
Those cats are crazy.
Yeah,
I'll tell you a
guy-
Have
story.
you not met Jesus yet?
No,
he
I'll
hangs
tell you a
around the
story
Comedy
about the
Store.
Hulk, though.
But Jesus was just sitting there having like a cappuccino or whatever, trying to perk up a little bit to go heal some other people. And this woman walked over to him and sat down, and then I looked over. I was just working on my computer. She was like having this very intense conversation with him. Like she was like.
But she was really talking to
She
Jesus.
was trying to get advice and stuff. It's like, this is a homeless person. This is not
The homeless,
your Lord.
the Jesus.
Yeah.
You know how deep I am in at the Comedy Store. I know his fucking real name. Fucking name's Kevin.
Hey, that's Kevin.
No,
AKA
literally, I
Jesus.
say, "What's up, Kevin?" And he goes, "Hi, Neil."
Hollywood's
he's a
weird.
normal guy.
He is a normal guy. He's not homeless.
Hollywood's weird.
What's
dude.
your story about the Hulk?
So there's this. Is it Chasing Superman? Is it?
Yeah, there's a documentary about these people.
So one of
Confessions
these
of a
people.
superhero.
Confessions of a
a
Superhero.
Superhero.
Thank you.
Great documentary. So there's a guy in there that plays the Hulk, and he ended up being an extra on our show somehow. I don't know.
Our show being Sullivan
Yeah,
and Son,
Sullivan's Son.
which Roy is a cast member of, which we haven't even spoken about.
It's
How
all good.
gangster we are.
That's what we do, man. We just roll. So he ends up being an extra on the show one day, and I mean he's on set, like in his like off air, like they give you wardrobe to wear on set. He's just playing background at the bar, hangout,
Right.
black dude shooting pool, and each page, like there was every couple pages, it was a different day in the script, so he had to keep changing clothes, and
He would just split out of them and they would turn purple.
so he put on the wrong outfit. He put on the outfit for day 3, and we were shooting the scene for day 2.
I already love what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen, but I already love it.
So he's in the wrong outfit, and another one of the black extras tries to go in. Joe, his name is Joe. She goes,
Do they separate them out like that? Black extras and white extras?
no, but you know how black people just congregate. And,
You know how they are.
and she goes,
They all
Joe?
go to the same podcast.
Yeah. Joe, baby, I think you in the wrong shirt. This me right here. This is what I'm wearing. So one of the fucking directors, continuity people, catches it. And so the wardrobe girl is like 22, just a little meek, soft-spoken. Joseph, I think you're in the wrong. Don't talk to me like that, bitch. You don't know who I am.
Come on.
I'm Joe, motherfucker. Bitch, I'm the Hulk. Escorted off the lot.
Whoa, that's such
Like,
a quick trigger.
Just.
I knew that was going to happen.
Shouldn't make
tired
that
of-
guy angry,
I'm tired
though.
of y'all
Because you don't know what will happen. You do
say
not
what
know.
put on this shirt.
No,
say
you know
take
what's
off
going to
that
happen. You
shirt.
won't like him. You won't
Oh,
like
yeah,
him
that's
when he's-
right.
When you
That's
talk
right.
to
You
Joe,
won't like him
don't
when
talk
he's
to Joe
angry.
that way.
Right.
I'm Joe, baby. I'm Joe.
That is crazy.
Gone.
Couldn't
And
make it as an extra.
I don't know how he got on the show, but I know for what he was making on the sidewalk, he was making more just sitting on a TV set all day. And like, how do you fuck that up? Like, how do you just
Because
keep...
it's what do you make on set? $100, $80,
Yeah,
$100.
100 bucks.
It's hard to make $100 just from donations. It would take a. I mean, that's not one of those like. It's not like a homeless thing, where like a lot of people.
No,
are
yeah,
gonna
they
give
have
money.
they have a place to stay or
Right,
whatever. They
but
don't-
I'm saying I'd give money to a homeless person way before I give it to fucking Joe.
Yeah, but there's a constant stream of people that are taking those pictures on Hollywood Boulevard.
But they don't all give him money.
Yeah,
That's the
that-
thing. They don't, I don't think that I didn't know you're supposed to give them money. Although
they get
do.
pissed if you do selfies. Like if you try to do a selfie with them in the background,
Yeah.
they freak out.
Yeah.
he fucking went Hulk on them. That is.
He literally went Hulk
Tell
on
me
Hulk.
what shirt to wear.
I'm Joe, baby.
Apparently Kanye gave a speech after the concert.
You mean you left and he stuck around?
No,
climbed up the
in
mountain.
his dressing room.
Okay.
I did not go, but I heard that he gave a speech, and it was maybe 30, 40 people in the room, and he apparently said, "There's some good ass pussy in this room."
Oh man, he would know. That guy is a genius. There's no other way to say it.
He is. He is a genius.
You already said about Kardashian and Michelle Obama. He said Kim Kardashian is more influential than Michelle Obama.
Yeah. Yeah. He has a case. It's not worth saying, but he has a case.
Well, he was talking about Instagram and like if Michelle Obama posted a
Posted
picture.
a bikini picture of herself.
Well,
It
of
was kinda
course,
like,
she's
yeah.
a 50-year-old black woman. Like it's
Yeah.
how are you rating influence on Instagram likes or
Yeah. Yes.
setting an example for people
Yeah,
in the future?
for changing the white people's opinion about black women forever. I'd say, you know what? I've thought about it. He has no case.
he is in the middle of a manic episode.
I agree.
That's all there is to it. There's something the matter with his brain chemistry right now, and we're all watching it and like, it's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah,
But he's a
there's-
crazy person.
There's some good ass pussy in that room.
It is some good ass pussy.
You ever think that day will come for you?
What's that? That I'll be in a room
Well,
saying
crazy.
there's some
No,
good ass.
just well that too.
No, my crazy is just depression.
What about
So
you?
it's not like
Nah, not like that. I think my crazy, and I'm drifting into it now.
Okay.
all right, good. Go ahead and
okay,
talk
unpack
through it,
that.
Roy.
Blunt honesty and talking to people any kind of way, and not on some disrespectful shit, but just on some this is what it is.
Right.
And I'm just like, and that goes back to the whole girl experience and dealing with all these chicks and getting cussed out and cried. Okay, so if I don't tell people the truth, then okay, well then I'll show you motherfuckers. So everybody gets the fucking truth, and I don't have time to figure out what your proper reception method is so that I don't piss you off. And I don't mean any harm by it. I had a meeting with these people that are, tied into YouTube, some YouTube channel. Do you want to create viral content for us? And when you go into these meetings with these people, you're supposed to. For years, I was just happy to be there. And,
Right.
oh, please, sir.
Yeah.
What is it? I went into the meeting. I was like, yo, these ideas I have, I see what you did. I started asking them questions. I said to the meeting, I was like, who the fuck are you? How are
Yeah.
you qualified to do this shit? Because I'm not finna sit there and bust my ass and then this shit sucks because you're a fuck.
Yeah.
So the whole meeting was on a different plane, and I don't even think I left them with a good impression. I don't give a fuck. And
yeah,
I think,
so what? I mean,
and I don't know if that's crazy or an awakening that I'm finally having at this point in my career. I'm 15 years in, man. I don't have time to waste no time no more.
It's like that Bill Burr bit, about staying single too long. He's like, you don't want to stay single too long because, like, if you're young and single, you go, I should go over to that chick right there and I should go say this. And then your brain will be like, don't say that. That's crazy. That's a crazy thing to say. But then you stay single too long and then your brain's just like, you know what? Fuck it. What's the worst that could happen? Go say it. And you just start saying the craziest shit.
Man. There's some weird career mortality shift that's happened to me. And
I wouldn't know how to advise because I've been on the right side of it and the wrong side of it. I've been on like the fuck do I care? And I for the most part I'm still on that, but it's definitely like
it's like, well, I care, but I don't give a fuck if this doesn't work. It's not going to be the end of me. It's not going to be the end of you, and I'm aware of that. And I think when you put that in the atmosphere up front, I don't completely know if that's a good thing, but as opposed to the alternative of what I've been for the past decade and a half, with just, hey, how you doing? But it's the same approach. I told a chick,
don't say a time. Don't say a time. It'll fuck you up again. You'll get in trouble again.
No,
keep it vague.
I can't get in trouble.
You're already getting in trouble for this white girl thing. Go ahead, though, Roy.
I told a chick a couple of weeks ago, I go, look, here's how I feel about you in a business sense. Here's how I feel about you in a personal sense.
She's a prostitute.
Do with it what you want, but that's what it is. So there's no more
How'd you
confusion. There's no business thumbs up to be determined in a personal sense, basically. But I take that as a no or disinterest. I'm also, because if I'm a cake guy, the cakes chicks, which I'll for the most part co-sign on. There is an air of courtship in me, even when it don't want to be with you. Yeah, exactly. There's something like, let's go watch.
You got to get on some bass shit, homie.
I'm kind of with you.
You got to get on some bass shit, homie. You just sit back and wait.
So when you're that kind of guy, you're also the kind of guy when chicks reject you, it's usually not linear. It's some roundabout, deflective, fade to black. If I don't say anything, hopefully he won't bring it up again type of shit. And I'm figuring that's what it is with her. But it's whatever. It's just, I'm looking now, man, motherfuckers dying, motherfuckers quitting comedy. Like, this is the first time in my career where I go, oh fuck, everybody doesn't get to fucking do everything. Fuck, I should take advantage of this. I should get focused. And that's the place I'm operating from in a private and professional capacity now, because it's catchy and it hurts, man. You see motherfuckers you started with, and I don't know how it was in New York, or I imagine in the Bay it's probably similar because it's a tighter, the South is a close-knit comedy. It's only like 4 comics per city, so it's back then at least, but it's more now. But you go from city to city, you see these guys, all these guys, and you go, whatever happened to so-and-so? Oh, he fucking works at a Tyson fucking chicken. What?
Yeah, well, what's pathetic about it is that comedy requires you to push so many of your life's chips in, and then if you go bust, you don't have anything left to play with. So you're now 40 years old, and you're fucking
50.
You haven't done shit with your life except chase a dream that you were never going to be able to catch, and now what the fuck are you going to do?
Yeah, it goes that thing we were talking to Aries about.
Right.
Where it's like, how talented are you? Do you know what I mean? Because at a certain point, you're like, I'm infinitely talented.
Right.
When you're 20, you're like, I'm fucking infinitely talented. I can fucking do anything. And
then you get a little
and
older.
then you're like, oh, okay, all right.
Like,
nope.
Perfect example of that. Something is pushing me to write more. I don't know what it is. That's not what the goal was when I started. Right. I still stand beside a lot of my stand-up. I think there's some marketing. Great. There's some marketing things that I could do better. There's funny is like third on the list when it comes to stuff. But I know I'm tired of spending 5. Speaking of things I texted you, what else did I text you? I said I'm in Charlotte for 5 straight days. This is not what I want to do.
Right.
This is not where like. God bless anybody that's on that path, but there's more. Want more beyond that. So for
beyond show business too.
Yeah, well, I got to get that shit together too, Moshe. And you've just start looking at, all right, I started out as a stand-up, I mean, the linear dream. You do Letterman, and you get a fucking show. The next, you get a sitcom. All right, well, I did Letterman, and I got $300 travel from every club. Like, that was the bump up from Letterman. So,
And I got in touch with you.
You
That's
did.
how you
yeah, it was Def Jam. Def Jam.
Oh, it was your
It was
Def
Def Jam. Yeah,
I
Def Jam.
literally
Which is-
saw Roy on YouTube or something. I was like, this fucking guy is good. And I contacted his manager.
Really?
Yeah.
To say what? Maybe
That's
to
how, that was it.
Then I was like, who is this? I didn't know who he was. And I was
Awesome.
like, I would work with this dude. I changed my mind pretty quickly.
To this
after
day,
Well, now you're just a son of a bitch to Neal.
that's why anytime I see some comic I like, I send him an email. Not that I'm fucking Neal Brennan, but
No,
just to
no,
go,
I'm
hey,
not Neal,
man,
but I always.
You're not Neal
try-
Brennan either, are
I
you?
know. No.
He's not even Neal Brennan anymore. You know who's most likely to be Neal Brennan is me. I have a potential to become Neal Brennan.
No, I always try to tell people about it. Patrice called me up. Patrice, the only person who ever called me up, said I was funny. Ever.
That's a nice thing. That's
It's
a nice
great,
thing.
humane thing to do.
as a like it's just as a coworker, just go, hey, I thought that was a funny fucking set. I like
Yeah.
what you did, and I don't mean anything. I'm not trying to be on your dick or it's just,
No,
hey man,
it's like
I think you're
fucking
funny.
That-
I don't know if we could work it. I don't know.
It's gonna feel good for 2.5 days.
Yeah.
Damn right it did.
Whether it comes from a Neal Brennan or a Moshe Kasher.
or just a lowly Moshe Kasher.
Uh,
you know, it all
whether it
feels
comes-
good in the end.
whether it comes from a guy who owns a vegan restaurant.
It was that shit and Aisha Tyler fucking and I reflecting now for her to reply. I sent this motherfucker like a 8-paragraph. I was at the Leslie Kahn. We went to the same acting. I saw her picture in the hall at the acting class.
Oh, and
that
you
I
wrote an
took.
8-page letter. I saw your headshot, and I'm a huge fan of what you did in that headshot. I have to say that your face is very pleasant to me.
Miss Tyler, what's it like to transition as a black, blah, blah, just fucking flailing in the wind. So, and she fucking replied and gave me some good ass advice, and she didn't fucking have to fucking reply.
Oh, that's nice.
And that shit, like, those two things always stood out, man. But, like, bottom line is this. Like, I'll go wherever the impulses take me. It's not about fighting, well, that ain't what I want to do. I want to be. No, you know what? If there's writing opportunities present themselves, that's going to lead to something else. Everything I've done just led to something else. So there was I've never had a plan beyond 2 years at this shit.
And
you
also,
know?
people have weird careers. It's like,
For sure.
and when you think it's over, it's not.
When you think it's happening,
When you think it's
not.
great, it's over.
Yeah.
Steve Martin said your career's over for 3 years before you realize it,
Right.
which is chilling and and fucking hilarious. There is something about like writing or what it's like. I don't fucking know, and then
Go
someone
watch
call
a
you
Def
out of.
Jam DVD, man. Just go watch one of these old fucking DVDs and
Oh,
tell me
yeah.
how many of those guys, if you went to their website right now, they would have a date this year
Yeah,
where they're performing.
yeah.
I was thinking about this.
Shit's scary,
I
dude.
was talking
Yeah.
to Natasha about this, like
Your lady love.
my young lady, and I was talking about, like, we're all chasing after this fame, immortality thing, and the most famous of us. Who do you think is the most famous person we know? Like, maybe Chappelle. Let's say.
Right.
Do you know Chappelle, Neal?
I love the show. Go
It's
ahead.
hard for me to imagine that Dave Chappelle will be known in 100 years. That's the best of this generation, the biggest comedian of this whole generation. Probably won't. No one will know. Probably he'll be like a footnote in 100 years. Like,
You know what?
and famed.
Right, but I don't think anyone's doing it for the 100-year thing.
No, but people are doing it for some sort of modicum of, like, immortality. If what I'm saying is, like,
Posterity,
that's
my
worthless.
name will ring out and all
Well,
that.
did I tell you, I think I said on here, Questlove was saying that he just wants people to remember him forever. And I said, after he's dead, and I go, Amir, so you're saying that even in death, you're going to be insecure.
Well, that's exactly the point.
Yeah, it's like, no, motherfucker, who's talking about me? You're dead, motherfucker. Either you're in the dirt, which you're going to be, or you're in heaven, which whatever. So it's either going to be in paradise or nothing, or you're dust.
Well, Amir will go to hell.
With
I think
each
we know that.
generation-
Amir, we're just kidding. We know you're listening.
Yeah, come on.
He'd be a great DJ in heaven, though. But with each generation you get further away, that, like, let's go back to Genghis Khan. Who the fuck else was kicking it in his camp? No one knows. But if it was 10
On the
years
Genghis
after,
Khan label.
yeah, who else was his
was
general,
repping?
his right hand? Who's his Silk the Shocker? You know, who are these other people on his label? I'm sure they were well known then.
Right, totally.
And as you got further and further away, Genghis Khan was the only. It just pulls
Right, but
down.
it's also like what good. So it's like you look at. I think about it. Where I was somewhere. I was with Chappelle on Saturday or Sunday or something. He was getting his car washed. I got a haircut. We went and walked around. It's a fucking nightmare to be
right.
him.
Right, so
That's the other thing
You
is-
ruin your current life in the hopes of some sort of abstracted, like, what? Future?
Yeah.
Who knows? It's
Just
so weird.
Everyone's got to fucking take a picture of you. And the amount of inane shit people say, just fucking...
Because they're all uncomfortable.
They're uncomfortable, and they want a picture, and they don't know how to say it, so then they just end up blathering. It's not even their fault.
Right, and every
they're
one of
nervous.
them, every one of them says they're not the. Oh, I'm not
that guy.
But you're all
Why'd
that
you go
guy.
to Africa? Has anyone asked you that before? Just it's like, and it's verbatim all day. It's
Right.
fucking the same. It's like Groundhog Day, and then I'm doing this. I'm like, what? And I'm trying to get there. You know what I mean? Man, I wish my life was this fucked up.
Right.
There are parts about it that are great. Like there's parts about it.
There's
like,
a lot of money, and also access to do literally whatever you want creatively, which is a big fucking thing.
At the end of the day, the only people that are remembered are the people that saved a bunch of motherfuckers or killed a bunch of motherfuckers. Those
Right.
are generally
It's
the
like
And Mark
Jesus-
Twain.
It's like Jesus, right? It's like Jesus Christ and
That's
Gandhi and
Hitler.
You know what I mean?
Genghis,
And even,
Alexander the Great.
Think about Genghis Khan. Like he is a person that
And
perpetuated a crime so probably 4 or 5 times as awful as the Holocaust. And now he's sort of like he's a Mongolian buffet in you know what I mean? In 200 years the Holocaust will be
Shopping
like
plaza.
yeah, and slavery and the Holocaust in like 500 years people just go, "Oh, and then there was some sort of minor blip back in the Americas where they enslaved people."
Exactly.
Moving on.
In 400 years, there'll be a Hitler.
Let me get can I get a large Hitler?
yeah. Ooh, this burger is Hitler. I don't like it at all.
Hitler chicken at Panda Express.
Yeah, no, Bill Burr does a joke about like the Stalin and
Name
versus
so horrible
Hitler
they
and-
retire him.
But yeah, it's like what is the point? And it's all because we didn't probably have very good parents.
That we would want that in the first
that
place.
we would want some sort of like fill the hole with constant blathering about, and everyone you know what drove me crazy about seeing Chappelle the other day? Everyone calling him by both names.
Dave Chappelle?
Dave Chappelle. And it was just like, just fuck it up. It made me insane.
Yeah, right.
It's just
weird,
so
too.
gross. It's just weird. It's crazy.
And there's no really good way to do it because, like, I've toured with Aziz a bunch, and it's like that too. It's like, just like he doesn't take pictures, and so he is just like, no pictures. So then people are like, ugh, all day long. Ugh, look.
So
ugh,
he's just shitting on his fans one at a time.
Or you could be like, okay, I'll take a picture, and then literally your whole day is like,
And
one
you're
person
spending
take a
an
picture,
hour a
and then
day.
people start streaming towards you like, picture time. It's like just streaming.
It's pick your poison.
Yeah, and of course, then it's me. Like
So he's fucked
every
either
like
way.
700th person will recognize 1,000th person will recognize me and be like, "Will you get? What about you?" I'll be like, "Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Come on over."
Do you get the people who talk with you for a little while and you think you're just talking to a stranger, just two strangers?
And they go, hey, by the way.
Yeah, and it's like,
Oh, yeah.
Fuck, you know who I was the whole time. It's like,
Yeah.
like I like that. Like, that's cool, but I don't get
I did that to
recognized.
Spike
But here's the
Jones.
thing is you
I
can
did that
always tell.
I did that to Spike Jones at a barbecue. I like hung out for a long, and he was a cool guy. It felt like a real interaction, but we were hanging out and for hours, hanging out, chatting, and at the end, I was like leaving, and I said something like, "Yeah, you make films, right? I mean, you make films, like, yeah, I make films, dude.
Worst
Yeah.
opener ever.
That was a closer. That was my closer.
Did I
oh
tell
no!
you
Wait,
that-
no, we've been talking for. You make films? Is that right? Are you? Are you Steven Spielberg?
Did I ever tell you about the time me and Chappelle met De Niro and Scorsese?
No.
You just gotta act like that shit's normal, dude.
No,
You can't.
it was like the height of Chappelle show, whatever, and it was a Directors Guild thing, and Chappelle, whatever. It was it was like one of those like great nights. Like all the SNL people were there, and Lauren got honored, and Oprah was there. All these people, Mike Nichols. So De Niro and Scorsese we end up like in a me, Dave, De Niro, and Scorsese, and De Niro. I'm sorry, Scorsese starts telling De Niro about a sketch that he saw, and it was like the Player Haters Ball, which is such a fucking weird sketch anyway.
How's that even in his head?
Yeah, and Scorsese's like, so Bob, I see the sketch, and it's about he's in a suit, and he says, da-da-da-da, what do I do? And he's and De Niro's like trying to play along, it's kind of confused. So then we all say, and I told De Niro, continued success.
He's like, thanks, kid.
Yeah, like, thank you. It's like continued success, Bob.
You're a movie actor?
Yeah.
Is that right?
So what do you do?
You're an actor in films, is that correct?
What is that you do?
You're something of a raging bull, is that right?
Yeah, so we're all pursuing fame, and then.
But see, I don't think I am anymore.
Now you're just trying to keep it real.
Now you're trying to actually, you're going the opposite way with it, where you're like, you know what, fame, fuck you, come and get me.
It's about. This sounds so lame and cliche. It's just about the work now, man. It's just about being funny, figuring out a way to work less and get more people, and wherever the people come, they come. And if I get more writing opportunities, then fine. If I get a chance to produce my own shit and not like, I had a perfect example. Had a script I wrote and aged out of it. Aged out. I'm too fucking fat now. Even if I lost weight, I've got gray hairs in my mustache. So that means that for this idea to come to fruition, someone else has to star in it. 5 years ago, I would have argued you down. Fuck you, bitch. That's my script. You can't have it, and I'm the star.
Over my dead body.
Like Stallone with Rocky.
Yeah, exactly.
Mine.
The one time that worked, yeah.
But now I'm like, let's go find somebody. I want I'm almost excited at the possibility of somebody else doing it. So
right.
The mindset has shifted, man.
That is the right answer. The right answer is if you try to take away just ego. It's like your brilliant point, Neal, which is, I mean, Neal, you got a great point here.
Which
Neal
one?
says, people come to LA, they go, I'm here to act, and then Neal's like, okay, cool, here's a play, go act. They're like, no, I meant something. You want to be famous? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. It's like, do you want to be? Would you want to act if it didn't lead to fame?
Right.
Because just say you want to, but you can't say I want to be famous.
Because every year I go up to Ashland, Oregon. I have my old AA sponsor lives up there, and he retired up there. So every year we go visit him and we go watch we go to the Oregon Shakespeare Festival and then watch 4 or 5 plays in a weekend. And it's this whole repertory theater.
And 60% of them are fucking amazing. I bet.
They're unbelievable,
Yeah.
and they're acting. They're in a small town in Ashland. It's as high quality as you can get.
Yeah.
Theater-wise, it's not Broadway, and they're just up there year after year getting cast in plays.
They had good parents.
They had good parents, and they were doing they're doing the
talent
work.
and good parents. That's the problem with good parents.
Feed themselves.
You
pay
will
the
have
bills.
to stay local.
You'll end up in Ashland.
No, that's the thing. Is like with it's like, all right, let's say.
Well, I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
But it is important to note that among those local people that you've never heard of, there are definitely maybe 5% of them are character actors that you would recognize. The guy, the black dude from Night Court,
Marshall Warfield?
No,
Folks.
dude.
God, one of the other bailiffs.
Anyway, there are famous old character actors from
Right.
Hollywood who clearly went, I'm good. This is fucking retarded. I just want to act. And they moved up there to go do that. You were saying?
Well, no, that's the thing of like how talented. It's like working with Rock. You just go, fuck. That's the thing of like working with Chris Rock. You just kind of go like, there's something about it that's fucking humiliating.
Right.
Even though he asked me to work with him.
And even though you're very talented.
Yeah, I'm very talented, but there's a thing where we'll have that conversation and then he'll say Carmela Soprano the next night and you're like, I wasn't close to thinking that.
That's like Silk the Shocker Khan.
Damn.
He's just like,
Silk the Shocker
at a certain
Khan.
point, I just have to admit, I look at Khan, he can kill people on the steppes of Asia much
like,
more effectively than
what
me.
do you do?
Yeah.
Lauren apparently had that realization where he was like, Lauren Michaels said like he used to do stand-up apparently, and he's like, you do enough stand-up shows with Richard Pryor. And you kind of go, what else can I do?
On the other hand, there are these people in stand-up, we all know them, who are perpetually and systemically unfunny and seemingly never fazed by that fact. I mean, people that bomb, that only bomb. These people are people that have not bombed a handful of times.
Right. There's also the thing of like, I've seen Patton Oswalt, right? Like, he's like, I'm never going to be as good as Richard Pryor, but I can have fun and I can enjoy doing it
And make
And I'm
money.
very good.
and make
travel
money,
well.
and I'm still very good.
What is it about do you know those people? You look at them, you go, "What's your game plan here?"
fear.
What
They
is it?
just don't.
It's fear. It's fear of exploring what it is they're really
right,
better at.
or
And
that they're not. There's nothing. The fear of mediocrity.
to face
Not even
that
mediocrity.
reality.
It's
Right.
like it's that thing of like I'm gonna keep trying. I'm plugging away. It's the American dream,
It's
and it's
like
Tony Robbins, and like
You've made 8 wrong turns. You
Yeah.
know you're not going the right way anymore, but you refuse to U-turn.
yeah,
Right. No, I don't mean mediocrity to say if you don't make it in showbiz, you're living a mediocre life. I'm saying in the warped perception of these people's minds, like a regular life means a mediocre life, and they can't have that. So they'd rather chase after they'd rather do an Irish pub every Thursday in Irvine, California. It's like this thing Natasha just told me about this Ringling, the Ringling Brothers Circus, and there's the guy that is sweeping up the shit of the elephants. Have you heard this? He's sweeping up the elephant shit, and this person comes up and is like, "Why do you have this job? This is the worst. You should quit this job." He goes, "What? And leave show business?"
yeah, yeah. It's like a thing. Showbiz has this patina. That's what I hate about the Oscars. It's like you can dream, and it's like. You know how fucking hot you have to be to get cast in a movie?
Right.
Do you know how fucking gorgeous? If you're a woman, you know how fucking gorgeous you have to be?
We all have dreams. I had a dream, and it only took that dream and also
Yeah, and
unbelievable genetic
and also
luck.
looking like Halle Berry.
Yeah.
The most perfect fucking looking woman to 2 different races.
Combining those two things.
Only that. Yeah, it's like, so then
dream
people
and
go,
the best
I'm like Halle
genetics.
Berry. It's like, no, it's like the thing about like get knocked down 8 times, get up. And it's like, every once in a while you just stay down.
Well, that's what you have to think
that's
about.
not for me.
People like Willem Dafoe and Philip Seymour Hoffman and Kathy Bates. Like, how good were these people? That they're just like, or Forrest Whitaker, just like, no, I'm
Right.
good. I'm gonna just nope. I really feel like
Yeah.
I've got this. And people are like, eventually, like,
It's like the guy with
All right.
two, like the guy in the black dude in Forrest Whitaker's acting class who has 2 healthy eyes. He's like, oh, I
it's like
got
the guy
this
behind.
motherfucker.
It's like the guy behind Chris Brown. He's like, why?
No, I know. Well, I know someone that
What?
auditioned for SNL, and they were on the elevator with somebody, and they go, "Who is this poor small-eyed dude?" Will Ferrell
Hilarious.
was the poor small-eyed dude that they were auditioning against. And you just go like, "This fucking guy." And
lost.
oh, it turns out he's one of the best ever.
Yeah.
It's just the trick is to shift gears in terms of, all right, well, this is what I thought I wanted. No, I should just do this, this, and this, and whatever the fuck that goes is where it goes. I'm happy. I'm doing well.
It's the
That's
shame.
it.
Yeah.
But to make sure that switch doesn't flip in your head of you've quit or give up or you've set
You
different
a bitch,
goals. Yeah,
motherfucker. You failed.
What? Because I ain't got no more goals. No, you still got goals. You're still working. This shit feels like when I got cut from baseball in college, and you couldn't tell me from 3 years old that I wasn't going to fucking play first base for the Chicago Cubs. I was going to get drafted. I was going to play 2 years in Iowa in minors.
Right.
Mark Grace was going to retire. And I was going to fucking be the first baseman of the Cubs. And we were going to fucking win world championships. And I got to Florida A&M. And baseball tryouts was an hour and a half. They had 2 cuts. I got cut in the first 30 minutes. Literally, I got cut in the first 30 minutes. And I'm walking back to the dorm.
Yeah.
Fuck, what's next in life?
Yeah.
Right,
No,
but
it's
at least
there's
it's
no
not baseball.
there's no
Right. There's
forward.
no open
There was-
mic for you to continue your baseball fake dream.
Yeah.
Like, thank God. What if they did that at open
They
mic?
do
They
that.
just go, you know what? You didn't make it. Leave comedy. You're
Yeah.
out. It's not happening.
I believe that 90% of the people, they'd weed out 90% of the correct people.
That must be Felipe.
All right. All right. Roy Wood. This is a good one. As usual, Roy Wood.
Don't
brings
lie
it.
to me.
No
Roy
stories
Wood, thank
about
you for
his,
coming on.
His grandmother dying, fake condolence cards this time, but it was good in a totally
You
different
know what?
way.
We'll have to save the dope boy story for next time. Did some shows for some dope boys.
Oh, fantastic.
Oh, good times.
All right, buddy. God bless.
Now you're fucking with the champs.
That's it.